Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today we will talk about 10 best upcoming fights on Egghead Island. And this video contains major spoilers from manga, so watch at your own risk. On first number is Marshall D. Teach, Blackbeard, vs Trafalgar D. Waterlaw. After leaving Wano, the Heart Pirates were attacked by Blackbeard, and some of his subordinates near the coasts of Winter Island. The battle was completely one-sided, resulting in the crushing defeat of Trafalgar Law and the others. Initially, Blackbeard was careless, which caused him to be hit by Law's shock will. However, despite being struck by the dangerous move, he endured the blow without any consequence, to the point where he was fine on his feet immediately after. A few chapters later, Blackbeard was shown standing triumphantly and laughing over Law's body. As Blackbeard was pondering what to do with Law's opo fruit, Beppo managed to get up. Using his Sulong form, he grabbed the nearly unconscious Law and escaped with him to the ocean. On second number is Monkey D. Luffy vs Rob Luchi. 2 years after their tremendous battle in Enies Lobby, Luffy and Luchi had a rematch in Egghead. Initially, the two were exchanging blows on par, as Luchi's awakened zone enhanced physical strength and armament haki were equally matching Luffy's Gear 5 transformation and armament haki. As Luchi and Luffy dueled, both were sent crashing into the surroundings in the same manner. However, after striking him with 3 Gear 5 techniques, the last of them being the Gum Gum Dawn Rocket, Luffy knocked out Luchi. The battle left Luffy uninjured, but greatly fatigued for having used Gear 5. Meanwhile, Luchi recovered a few minutes after passing out. During the fight, Luffy couldn't stop Luchi from attacking Sentomaru. With his speed and power, Luchi broke through Sentomaru's haki defense, beating him in a flash. Number 3 is Roronoa Zoro vs Kaku. Like Luchi, Kaku improved greatly during the time skip, becoming a CP0 elite agent. A testament to his huge gains, Kaku learned to perform the Sky Slicer, the strongest Rankyaku, with just his base form. To use this move, he previously needed his zone transformation. Just as Kaku's Sky Slicer was about to destroy the Thousand Sunny, Zoro, despite being asleep, sensed the incoming attack. He then woke up and intercepted the blow, effortlessly dissipating it with one of his swords. Kaku then entered his awakened zone form and coated himself in armament haki. Once again, however, he was no match for Zoro, who bested him without employing neither his real haki powers nor a serious attack. Zoro merely used his raw muscular strength and his armament haki amped swords to block Kaku's techniques, and smash the latter on the ground. Number 4 is Stussy vs Kaku and Rob Luchi. Even though she became one of the CP0's finest agents, Stussy was loyal to Vegapunk, who created her as the clone of a Rocks Pirates member. Just as Kaku was getting up, after Zoro threw him on the ground, Stussy suddenly sprouted vampire-like teeth, and bit his fellow colleague. Sucking Kaku's blood, she put him to sleep. Enraged and confused by the unforeseen betrayal, Luchi attacked Stussy, but she dodged his reckless attack, and exploited the opening to touch him with a piece of sea stone. As a devil fruit user, Luchi was instantly weakened, which enabled Stussy to bite him. Stussy exploited her tricky abilities and the shock caused by her unexpected betrayal. Otherwise, she wouldn't stand a chance. Notably, Stussy self-admitted that Luchi and Kaku were too strong for her to fight them in a fair combat. Later in the story, she was unable to block Luchi's most basic Shigen. Number 5 is Straw Hat Pirates, CP0, and Vegapunks vs Seraphim. To carry out her plan, York deployed 4 Seraphim, tasking them to eradicate anyone else on Egghead. Luchi and Kaku asked Luffy and Zoro for a temporary alliance against the Seraphim, and started fighting against S-Hawk and S-Bear. Meanwhile, the rest of the Straw Hat Pirates, assisted by Vegapunk's satellites, were facing S-Snake and S-Shark. Being enhanced with King's Lunarian DNA, all Seraphim had immense durability, to the point where even Luffy couldn't damage them. Not even consecutive barrages of powerful attacks left any real damage on the cyborgs, who were uninjured shortly after being hit. Baffled, Luffy likened their toughness to that of Kaido. The storytelling then left Egghead to shift its focus on other places and events. A few chapters later, the Straw Hats and their allies, who were last seen split into various subgroups, were gathered in the same place, while the Seraphim were all trapped in Vegapunk's special bubbles. The manga didn't reveal what led to this, leaving what happened totally open to speculation. Number 6 is Shanks vs Eustace Kid. After leaving Wano, Kid and his men reached Elbaf, the homeland of the giants. Not only the Red Hair Pirates were present on the island, but the place was surrounded by the Red Hair Fleet, which comprised individuals much weaker than the crew's proper members. Seeking revenge for the crushing defeat he once suffered against the Red Hair Pirates, Kid decided to use his strongest attack, the Damned Punk, to destroy the Red Hair fleet. However, Shanks employed his future sight and foresaw Kid's intent to kill his weaker subordinates. Jumping on Kid's ship, Shanks struck him with a Haoshoku Haki-imbued slash, the Divine Departure. The blow cut through the railgun that Kid created to perform Damned Punk, annihilating both Kid and Killer at once. As payback for having assaulted their homeland, Dory and Brigitte destroyed Kid's ship. Number 7 is GARP, Koby, and others versus Kuzan, Shiryu, Pizarro, and others. To save his beloved disciple Koby, who had been abducted by Blackbeard, Monkey D. Garp stormed Hachinosu, the latter's lair. Assisted by a few officers of the Sword Unit, Garp wreaked havoc on the island, engaging former Admiral Kuzan, Aokiji, the dangerous Shiryu, Avalo Pizarro, and others. Upon arriving on Hachinosu, Garp ravaged an entire town with a single blow. He then used his insane physical prowess to overwhelm Kuzan. The struggle between Garp and the former admiral was heartbreaking, given their shared past as master and disciple. Using Koby as a bait, Shiryu stabbed Garp with his Haki-imbued sword. Dramatically weakened by the wound, the 78-years-old Marine hero decided to prioritize others' safety. After a tremendous clash, Garp outmaneuvered Kuzan. He then jumped towards Hachinosu's gargantuan stone skull, which was controlled by Pizarro's devil fruit. With a Haki-amped punch, Garp split the giant rock in half, greatly injuring Pizarro. Koby then completed the work with his Honesty Impact attack, which destroyed Pizarro's huge stone hand. Happy to see his disciples' growth, a smiling Garp eventually succumbed to Kuzan and the others, while the young sword officers reached safety. Number 8 is Morley and Karasu versus Ryokugyu and Fujitora. To allow their comrades to complete their task of surfing the Laveli, Revolutionary Army officers Morley and Karasu engaged Fujitora and Ryokugyu in battle, keeping them busy. Under normal conditions, the conflict would be one-sided. However, Morley and Karasu took advantage of the fact that the two admirals were forced to hold back their strength, as otherwise they might have destroyed Mary Geoise and hurt the celestial dragons. In the confusion, Fujitora allowed several slaves to escape, which angered Ryokugyu to the point where the two ended up having a violent scuffle. Number 9 is Sabo and Nefertari Cobra versus Amu-sama and the Five Elders. Unnerved by Nefertari Cobra's questions about Void Century-related topics, the Five Elders decided to kill the monarch, especially as the former happened to see Amu-sama sitting on the empty throne. Sabo, who had infiltrated the Pangaea castle, tried to stop them, but he couldn't do anything. Transformed into a monstrous creature, Amu swallowed Sabo's flames, while the Five Elders easily withstood his Fire Fist attack. As the Elders also transformed into devilish beings, Sabo tried to escape with Cobra, but they were stabbed by shadow arrows. Overwhelmed by the fiendish foes, Sabo only managed to survive as Cobra sacrificed himself to cover his escape. Framed for Cobra's murder, Sabo gained fame as the Flame Emperor, who metaphorically fueled the revolution by, allegedly, killing the monarch of a world government-affiliated country. Number 10 is Borsellino, Kizaru, vs Sentomaru. In the past, Kizaru used to be friends with Vegapunk and the latter's bodyguard, Sentomaru. They even spent time happily with Kuma and Bonnie. However, as the world government decided to attack Egghead, Kizaru and Sentomaru ended up on opposing sides. Sentomaru partially blocked Kizaru's initial attack, dampening its potency with armament haki. He then tried to counterattack, but Kizaru endured the hit effortlessly, and struck him with a powerful laser. Blasted to the ground, Sentomaru lost consciousness. And that's it for today folks, hope you like this video.